Hi, my name is Patrick,
Hi, I'm Soriah.
and this is our story. So we met at a college ministry called Overflow. We kind of met through mutual friends. There was no ever like handshake, hi, I'm Patrick, hi, this is Soriah. And we sat together for a whole semester in a community group, or not a community group, an equip class, a Sunday school, every Sunday for a whole semester. We had a friend, Callie, who kind of just sat us both down separately and was like, hey, why are y'all playing games? That same night, I knew that there was this coffee shop, Zara, that we go to in Denton. And she wasn't supposed to be there that night. And so I was gonna think of a plan to ask her out, and she showed up. And so I was like, great, do I ask her out now? What do I do? And so the way it happened is there are these three booths, and she was sitting in this back one, and I was sitting in the middle one. And I was supposed to go to like some softball game or whatever, but I decided I've got too much homework to do, and so I didn't go. And so our friends leave, and she's just talking from this booth, and I'm turned around talking from this booth. And she invites me to come study with her, which is funny, you know. And so I join her at her booth, and I had this whole plan, right? The coffee shop closes at 11, and so if I ask her out at 10:50 and she says no, we're good. It doesn't matter. But if she says yes, we can go home happy. And so I asked her out to a boba tea right before church the next day, and she said yes. And our first date was fun. We got to the boba place, and
Yeah, we were just trying to talk for a while, but pretty much as soon as we sat down, we were like, okay, let's clear the air. We like each other. And like, just got right out with it, and then like it went so smoothly after that. But it was really loud in the coffee shop, so we were like, okay, let's go outside. So we went outside and sat on a bench, but then it was freezing outside on the bench, so we went to Chipotle next door, and we didn't order anything from Chipotle. We were just drinking boba, but we sat there and talked for like
a good hour and a half
yeah.
before going to church.
Yeah.
And then we didn't sit it together at church, and so
that was my fault.
That was our first date. that was the day of our first date.
I think it wasn't like a no at first sight kind of thing. It was definitely like over time I just saw like his character and his personality and like the dreams that he had and priorities he had, and I was like, I want to spend the rest of my life with this guy. And then the more I thought about it, the more like I felt the Lord confirming it. And this is gonna sound really weird, but like this is how I knew. Like the when you know moment, this is that moment. Is like some people talk about like growing old with their spouse. So like I feel like sometimes people think of like being newlyweds and then being old. But like I could see all the in between. You know, like being 40 years old and paying off a mortgage, and like having teenagers, and you know, like random middle-aged stuff with Patrick, and it still felt like a dream.
Yeah, we have the saying between the two of us, and there are two things that I'm sure of: glorifying God and marrying you. And there was this one moment, I don't remember when it was sometime in the last, how long we've been dating, I guess. And she looked up to me, and I think I was crying at the moment, and she just texted or called, I don't remember. But
I think it was over the phone.
Over the phone, just said, I'm sure of these two things: glorifying God and marrying you. And that wasn't the moment that I was like super sure, but I was definitely confirmed in that moment that was like the right move. I bought the ring in early March, and so I had the ring, and I gave it to my best friend, and I was like, here, keep this until it's time to propose. I'm proposing on August 25th. That's our anniversary. It's gonna work. And so for the next month and a half, I'm just like, babe, we can't go out. I'm too broke. Babe, I wanna marry you, but I can't buy a ring yet, all right? So you just gotta be patient with me and understand that I can't buy a ring yet. And little did she know that it was leading up to the proposal. And so come August 25th, I had my best friend Austin, and then 6 of the guys that I have just walked life so closely with for the last 3 years. They helped me plan out this idea. There's a hotel in Dallas called the Fairmont Hotel, and they have this 3rd floor terrace that has a nice city view. And so I had this idea that if I give them both roses, or give them all roses, and they're gonna station themselves at different parts leading up to the terrace. So that's what happened, and so I had 2 guys right at the front entrance, 2 going onto the elevator, 1 at the top of the elevator, 1 going outside, probably 1 more somewhere in between that, and then my best friend was the last person she was going to talk to before seeing me. And so it was a fun process just because that place was special to me, and I know that we've been up there on different jobs that I've been doing, and I just knew that it was just a very pretty sight.
The whole like backstory, like my day going into it was Mandy and Callie, my best friends. Callie was graduating and Mandy was taking her pictures. So they're like, Soriah, just tag along and dress up and we'll like take a few pictures. So I was like super excited to just go around Dallas and whatever. And then the plan was that Patrick would pick me up from wherever we were and we'd go out to dinner. And so leading up to it, I was totally oblivious, like had no idea, like wasn't really expecting to like get engaged until like months later, like super ignorant. And then we are taking pictures and Mandy says, hey, let's go to the Fairmont. They have like a nice terrace. Like I know you've been there. You'll like it up there. So I was like, okay. So we pull up and we're in the parking lot and I'm kind of wondering like, I haven't talked to Patrick, like when is he gonna pick me up? But then I see his car and I was like, maybe he like tracked my location and he knows where I am. And then in the back of my head, I was like, what if he's gonna propose? And so I was kind of like confused and like a little like, what's happening? Walking up to the hotel. And then as soon as I saw the 2 guys with like roses at the entrance, I was like, it's happening. And so I took the roses and then like practically started running. I was like so excited. So I just went past every like guy and like grabbed a rose and yeah, it was a lot of fun. But I think the best part about the whole thing was like obviously getting engaged. But second best part was after he had like proposed and I said yes and we hugged and kissed and stuff, I turned around and like all of my friends are there. And it was a total surprise. Our families were there too, and it was really emotional.
One of the slight ultimatums that we had on our relationship was, I feel like God has been calling me to be a part of a church up in Michigan and to join a network of church planners. And so we took a trip in September to really just ask the question, is Soriah a part of that as well? Because I mean, we weren't engaged, you know, we weren't married, and so she had no obligation to go with me anywhere. And so that was kind of something we've been wrestling through for a lot of our early relationship. And then at some point God was just like, yeah, Soriah, you're going with him. Mm-hmm. And when she told me that and God made it very clear, I was like, all right, let's go, like let's make this happen. And so that's been something that the Lord's been putting on our heart a lot, in just being a part of something so much bigger than we are, in a place where the gospel's not preached and proclaimed. Like we said, that's kind of our life motto, is to see God glorified, and to do so at the expense of ourselves is one of the things that we aim for. So that's what I've been looking forward to.
Yeah, me too. Since we've been engaged, we've gone up to Michigan and just kind of like scoping out the scene with fresh eyes of like, yeah, we're both going to be here, and by the time we're here, we're going to be married. Has been so exciting to just like hold on to, just like knowing that that's like kind of in the immediate future. So I can't wait to do ministry up until then and then start ministry there.